Hi everyone, it's Lada from Astrology.com with your October 2016 horoscopes. And before I start, very quickly two announcements. Come and join me on the 15th of October, the month of love, the month of Libra, the month of relationships. I'm going to be doing a 3 to 4 hour webinar together with Trifon Nikolov on lovers and marriage. This will be a very special webinar. We're gonna talk about compatibility, but from a very different level. We're going to talk about the points of love, the points of eros, the points of attraction in the horoscope, with the points of marriage as well. This is information you won't find available around. This is very ancient information. It's based on the Egyptian or Hermetic, also called Arabic points of love, which is actually the real, how do I say, the top level. You don't even need to know any astrology, but this is the top level compatibility, that if you learn only those 4 or 5 points of love and relationships and marriage that exist in each horoscope and compare them with someone else's horoscope, this is all you need to know about compatibility basically. You'll be able to know whether someone can be your marriage spouse, lover, whether you can have chemistry or not. So those 3 or 4 hours will focus on that on the 15th of October. Come and join us just for $69. And also those of you who want to join me or who want to see after that a recording of my webinar, just $29 on stelliums. Stelliums, if you have 4 or more planets together close in your horoscope. These are pioneers, these are people with a very special mission in their life. And there is very little information out there on stelliums. And if you happen to be one of those people like me who has 4 or more planets together conjunct very close in their horoscope, within one area of their horoscope, we're going to talk about what your mission is. And we're going to talk how you can deal with that extra charge energy of the stelliums and how to approach such people. This is only $29, and I'm putting links for both of those webinars here. Hello my dear Aquarius. I'm somehow quite partial towards Aquarius. Even though Aquarius always gets the least views on YouTube, I don't know why, because Aquarius have this scientific mind and they're not into bullshit psychic things and astrology, even though astrology is ruled by Aquarius, but many people still nowadays think astrology is more of a Neptunian mystical thing, because Aquarius are so rational and they want, you know, things that are logical, that are intellectual. But anyway, I have a weak spot for you Aquarius. My ascendant is Aquarius, so maybe that's the reason. I've always get along so great with Aquarius, whether it's their sun or moon. Okay, so what is October bringing for Aquarius? I have good news for you. There's so much supportive energy for Aquarius because actually the sign Libra, which is another air sign like Aquarius, is triggered by the Sun, Jupiter and Mercury, 3 benefic planets, which immediately means that it's kind of, air signs support each other. When planets are in an air sign, they would uplift anyone who has sun, moon or ascendant in air sign, in your case Aquarius sign. So, and the 9th house, they're going to be in our 9th house, people, whether it's your sun, moon or ascendant. And that's a house of hope. That's a house of seeing the light. That's a house of, if there was like clouds above you, it might have been tough for many Aquarius in the past few months, because Jupiter was in your 8th house. And even though it gives a lot of depth of character when Jupiter transits the 8th house for the last 1 year, usually out of the blue things happen, sudden reversals and changes in life happen, which actually for the current moment you might not be aware that they carry a silver lining, because Jupiter is this benefic, and 8th house is sudden reversal, something out of the blue, something that is a bit shocking, something that can be considered as a disruption in life. And if you didn't realize why this happened, if you wondered why me or what's the purpose of that, now when Jupiter enters your 9th house, and especially in October when the Sun and Mercury join this 9th house with Jupiter, you're gonna have a kind of a illumination, like understanding, because the 9th house is the house of higher knowledge and seeing things from a higher purpose and from a higher bird's view, and you're like, this makes sense. I understand why this sudden break happened in my life, or why this sudden reversal, or why this darker period that I've been through. It's almost like you're coming out of the pits of hell and coming out and sitting on a cloud and looking above, and you're like, this made so much sense that I'm so grateful it happened. Now I see the purpose and the reason why this happened. And you start wondering at the magic of the universe when especially such beautiful planets trigger your 9th house. How it's like, how God's mind is perfect, that no matter what happened, that even twisted or so in your heart, no matter what reversal happened in your life, that there was actually a higher purpose in that, and that it's taken you to a better path, because now you're sitting on this high cloud and seeing how it's fitting, how this puzzle is fitting together. So I'm not saying you're gonna become illuminated in October. I wish so, you know, I really wish so, but it's kind of the puzzle start fitting together and you're like, yes, and you get a whiff of hope, and you feel like you're on track, you feel like your life has meaning. If you feel like you've lost meaning, if you feel like you've lost hope, if you feel like you've lost direction, Aquarius, don't worry. October will be one of those months that allows you to take a breather, to get your head out of under the water, and to climb on a tree and see which the direction out of the forest is. Let's say it that way. And you might come to you through an inspiration. You might read an inspirational book. You might meet someone who is like an advisor, someone who is like a oh wow, I hope it doesn't attack me. This bird is coming very suspiciously towards me and it's edging in more and more. But anyway, that would be a bad sign if it attacks me, and I'm talking about such good things here. Anyway, so yes, Aquarius, so it might come to you, you might get some inspiration, or maybe read some literature now that is inspiration and gives you meaning and allows you to see how things fit. Or maybe some mentor can come to your life, or some father figure which allows things to make sense and gives you a direction and inspiration of some sort. And ancient astrology says that when Mercury and Jupiter are together, this is when manifestations happen on the material level. And because Jupiter is the higher mind and is the opportunities that the invisible world sends to us, it's what the higher mind wants for us. And for this rare moment when both Jupiter and Mercury are together in the same sign, the lower mind, which is our own thinking, picks up on those ideas of the higher mind. It's almost like your mind aligns to the cosmic mind, to the divine, how do I say, plan for you. Jupiter is a divine plan. Mercury is what you're thinking in your head about your own plan. And it aligns and you start to see things clearer. Not only that, but Mercury is the organizer and manager. Some idea and inspiration comes and Mercury puts it into action and organizes and manages it. So this is what you can expect in October. You pick up on some great idea or new opportunities and you start putting it into action. And you start planning for it in some way. 9th house is the house of travel. So some of you might have the opportunity to manifest a travel of some sort. Interestingly enough, even without, you know, planning this, like, oh, October, planets will be in my 9th house, I'm gonna travel. I'm going to LA in October, I'm gonna be there for 10 days. So it's like I just thought of that now, and LA is another state. Anywhere that you travel within 100 kilometers or miles from where you are, it's a travel. It's a long travel, as they call it. So some of you might get to travel even to a foreign country for it to manifest. If you're trying to arrange some documents for foreign place or travel, it can happen right now. If you're trying to get accepted to some university or to pre-qualify, Mercury, Jupiter in the 9th house will allow you to find the right qualification or the right place to pre-qualify. Some people just want to start studying something new. It's not necessarily that you're 18 and you're, you know, 9th house is not only for young people going to universities, for anyone who is having higher education of any sort or mentorship with someone. You can find a great teacher currently when Mercury and Jupiter in your 9th house in October. You can connect, and funny enough, I'm planning of connecting with my teacher and finally meeting my inspiration, Ernst Wilhelm, and personal teacher in October. It's like, wow, how planets arrange and amazingly align themselves. It's a bit fantastic. Okay, so yeah, and it's also reading inspirational. Getting new ideas, new inspirations will come easy. This 9th house is connection to higher mind, and now you're tapped in, tuned in October to this higher mind and God's plans, and these opportunities start coming to you and you connect to them. It's a lucky house. You start feeling lucky as well and more positive, and as I said, you start seeing why certain things happen, and instead of regretting them, admiring this amazing plant. On another level, let's see, Mars is changing signs, and Mars will be in our 12th house. Being Aquarius, 12th house is the house before Aquarius. So Mars is in Capricorn for the next 2 months, and Mars is energy. And 12th house is again foreign countries and travel. You can expend energy in foreign countries or through places of travel of some sort as well. The theme repeats here. But also it can indicate spending more, because 12th house is the house of expending. And Mars is a bit more, throws like that, is a bit more reckless. So definitely Mars in the 12th house can indicate certain expenses, so be prepared for that. Well, no one is ever prepared to part with money. I don't know how anyone does it. But as well, it can be like an investment long term, that means like money goes out from you now, but it will come in the long term later on. 12th house is the house of, you might feel a little bit, because the 12th house is invisible house. You might feel like your energy levels are a little bit lower, even though you feel this inspiration from the 9th house. Because Mars is in the 12th house, you might find that some of the actions that you're doing going like to the wind, like throwing things to the wind a little bit. And actually when Mars is in the 12th, it's great to go and help someone else that has need. Instead of just throwing your efforts like that and energy to the wind, instead, Aquarius, go and help someone who needs you. Go and help your friend build a house, or help your friend relocate, or whatever, something, you know. Maybe put some efforts, physical energy levels into giving rather than getting. Or you can put a lot of energy into research, because the 12th house is the house of being on your own, research, being in the most secluded spaces as well. Or again, travel. If you're traveling somewhere, this is how Mars in the 9th house can manifest, sorry, in the 12th house. Or if you're doing some research, you can really dig deep, because Mars is this penetrating energy, and the 12th house is research, is faraway places, is places of isolation of some sort. So yeah, or you can put a lot of energy into some spiritual work, for example, either charitable or spiritual. That Mars can require that from you. Or you can just expend your energy on certain useless things, like spend a lot of energy on escaping reality in some way, which is the 12th house. Okay, so another thing, we have Venus very quickly in your 10th house. So your reputation, Venus can improve it. Whatever Venus is, it makes things more joyful, more pleasant. And there is, you can, for example, charm authority figures, so figures with some potential, high potential, people in high positions, some professionals of some sort. You can charm them, you can have good communication with them. You can approach them, and your approach to them will be more beneficial, and they would like you. Also, if you're your own boss, you can really be enjoying your work and responsibilities now, and your reputation can improve in some way. Social status, your name, or some project you're working on can come up beautifully and easily. And actually, wherever Venus is, we go there to escape, to take a break, to feel pleasure. So this time, actually, through your worldly responsibilities and duties, you can feel some pleasure and satisfaction. So it's good for your career, actually, in October. And not only that, but Venus rules women, so some women of authority or power, or more professionalism and experience can be of support for you in October. Reach out to such people, you know, to such, especially women that are in female women. Or if your career is connected to traveling, 9th house can be very successful. If your career is connected to higher knowledge, spirituality, 9th house can be very successful. To teaching can be very successful. Or if your career is connected to Venus, now October can be very good, because Venus is in the 10th house of career, which means beauty, art, amusement, entertainment, fashion, women of any sorts. If your career has anything to do with that, Venus in the 10th house will really kind of uplift things, help them develop well. So thank you so much, Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed that prediction. Look, I had only good news for you. So thank you. And well, yeah, Mars in the 12th, you can spend some things, you know, and try not to get yourself into gossip. Mars in the 12th house. 12th house is hidden enemy behind your back. And also, don't become someone's hidden enemy, gossiping, talking bad behind someone's back, because It's when Mars is there, it can have negative consequences for you. It creates bad karma as well, and it can come to you through another person stabbing a knife in your back, undermining you with more cruel words, or plotting something behind you. So try to stay out of such more insidious actions, or behind the back actions that are negative towards someone. With Mars in the 12th, this is more likely. And on the positive level, Mars in the 12th is that you can be preparing and working very hard somewhere behind the scenes, preparing on something, researching about it, rather than, you know, putting it out there yet. It's kind of, you're putting the hard work behind the scenes somehow. So thank you so much, and follow me on YouTube, subscribe to me on YouTube, and follow me on Facebook. The name is Astrology. Thank you.